Summer in Mara has all the staples of being a perfect quarantine game. A colorful world, an adorable protagonist, and an overall charming premise that makes me want to learn more about the setting. Despite having that festive and amusing foundation, I found myself constantly fighting with its gameplay that felt more like a chore than a reward. Summer in Mara takes place in Mara, a beautiful archipelago that looks like a setting for the next Lilo and Stitch movie. It's a summer tropical island adventure waiting for you to dive headfirst. We play as this little girl named Koa. She was adopted from an early age by an elder woman of a different species, and now the two live on this island, completely engulfed by nature. It's a story about encapsulating the circle of life, living off the island and tending to it. It's a lovely message filled with characters from all walks of life. A lot of the architecture and art of Spain is felt throughout the world design here. After all, the developers come from Valencia. Being of Spanish and Hispanic descent myself, I appreciated that, although I wish I could say the same for its gameplay. During its early introduction tutorial, Summer in Mara felt like a garden management simulator. I was tasked with plowing the fields outside of my island home, planting seeds, and tending to the everyday chores of running a farm. It was cute. The idea of having this little island to myself and making it my own, well, it was a splendid idea, but that excitement quickly spiraled downward as I noticed a trend throughout its gameplay. Fetch quest after fetch quest had me worrying that this was all the game had to offer. Sure, I would be able to customize my island to my liking, but every main quest and side quest boiled down to having to do something for something. After a spontaneous event happens on the island, I was able to get on a boat and start to explore the islands around me, continuing the story and growing my knowledge of the world and crafting. Relieved, I thought to myself, oh, it was just a slow tutorial. There's more to the gameplay. I was partially right. On my boat, I was able to go deep sea diving for treasures, finding collectible trinkets, and money hidden away on the ocean floor. Navigating to different islands, I was happily surprised to find a variety of different types of environments. My farm-orientated island was nothing like the other ones. One featured an entire town filled with merchants, blacksmiths, and a lovely beachside. Another had an underpass like a cove with people using it to camp away. There were over 25 islands to visit, each different from the last, and exploring the types of things that their island dwellers sold and harvested was fun. Sadly, while there was a lot to explore, there isn't a lot of variety in the things to do, and the most exciting things were blocked off by chores. While many RPGs and farming games offer trade questing, that's literally all that Mara does. Upon leaving your island and starting to interact with other people, it's trade quest after trade quest. The instance that comes to mind is trying to talk to this woman at the start of the game in a lighthouse. She wouldn't talk to me unless we befriended everyone on the island, so I went around trying to talk to everyone. I come back and she wants to give me a map to explore around me. Naturally, she's out of everything needed to make a map, so I go get some paper and ink. I'm finally done. Oh wait, no. I have to go get oil to laminate the map. The map secured, now we go to the treasure hunt for her lost item and bring it back, and it's broken. Looks like we're going to have to go back and fix it by talking to someone else who is going to make me search for the items to fix it, and so on and so forth. It feels tedious. While the acts themselves I think could be considered tranquil and peaceful, they're more annoying because of how much of a chore it is to just move around. Koa runs on an energy meter that's constantly dwindling anytime she isn't moving around at a snail's pace. The food that replenishes that energy is often the same resources that I need to complete these quests though. Keep in mind that while this is all happening, I'm required to go back and forth from my home island where I grow a lot of the resources I need to complete these quests, and then I have to travel back to wherever the objective marker is. After a few hours, I gave up on ever finding some variety in the gameplay. Eventually earning enough money led me to building buildings, hosting animals, and growing a pretty large farm on my island. But it didn't feel satisfying or rewarding because of that repetitive gameplay loop. I didn't feel like the work justified the reward, and by the end of it, I was just happy that it was over. I'm at a bit of a loss here. Summer in Mara is stunning as much as it feels unfinished. Its introduction cutscene is beautifully hand animated and ultimately feels like a cartoon I'd watch if this was a 2-hour animation. Seeing Koa perform her day-to-day tasks in this art style is heartwarming. It instantly made me fall in love with her character. Much like the rest of the game, it's the gameplay that left a sour taste in my mouth when it came to visuals. From the moment the game started, my home island looked a bit bland. UI elements seemed dated and the environment left a lot to be desired. Character animation like Koa's run seemed a bit stiff, and her jump looks as if she can jump 2 stories high. It's comical. It looks like a game in progress, not a finished product. Not shocking at all at this point, it looks exactly similar to how it did back during its Kickstarter reveal, and even borrows UI elements from the studio's previous game. Playing on both a Nintendo Switch and PC, I didn't notice any hiccups on PC, being able to run it at a full 1080p 60fps on a GTX 970. Visuals ran at what looked like 720p in dock mode, with the portable mode being able to run along 540p. A resolution downgrade for sure, but nothing that ruined the original visual design of the title. What does drag the performance a bit on the Switch is its frame rate that dips down to the mid to low 20s anytime there's a wide open area. For example, the beaches on the first new island. Luckily, since this isn't a game that requires too much pinpoint accuracy, I didn't mind it too much, but it definitely was noticeable. My favorite part about Summer in Mara is by far its music. It's absolutely magnificent. I distinctly remember hearing the game's theme called Marinera and it making me tear up. It was beautiful. Opening with a slow piano that opens up to a full string composition, I closed my eyes and could visualize Mara simply through its music. It was that powerful. The moment it started to have lyrics, singing about a young female sailor sailing the sea, the ocean winds being her guide, it captured exactly what Summer in Mara set out to do, but sadly didn't. Outside of that marvelous song, there's plenty of great instrumentals that convey the many environments for the different islands. They're all lovely, though it seems oddly timed with them fading in and out at the weirdest of places. The sound effects also felt like they were missing too. There was a lot of silence as Mara ran across the island terrain and it almost made her feel like she was floating. I love Summer in Mara's story, characters, and setting. It's lovable, delightful, and a joy in the despair of this worldwide pandemic. However, it also feels like having a job rather than being soothing and entertaining. I wanted to love it. I went in hopeful, but came out tired and a bit burned out from it. For those that can stand the elongated fetch quests, then more power to you. This is a game for you. For me though, I was already looking forward to my next review at the halfway point of this one.
Marinera que guardes la mar, marinera recorda'm la llar, qui aferma el meu rumb, bufen els vents de marà.